Get my final guest out, who's one of the biggest selling music artists in the world right now. Will you please welcome Ed Sheeran?
I might be a bit heavier than that, look.
It's great to have you here. I loved hearing you at the top of the show. I can't wait to hear you perform a whole song live again. But this has been an incredible year or so for you, I guess.
Well, this is the kind of pinnacle of it for me. Like, honestly, I've been watching your show since a very young age, and it was quite weird when you walked in earlier, because I have an old science teacher that really had the same mannerisms and kind of same facial kind of thing as you.
Very handsome, very charismatic.
Of course, yeah. So when you walked in, I just assumed I knew you, because obviously I'd grown up watching you on TV, and my science teacher was like that as well. But yeah.
Hold it. When you say your science teacher was like that as well,
I brought a picture of him. See what you think. He's called Mr. Wheeler.
Mr. Wheeler.
He was my favourite teacher.
Did he speak? Did he say the letter R in an incorrect way like me, or he just was?
Where do I point that? There.
Let's have a look.
What do you think? What do you reckon? He's getting there. What do you think?
Looks like Prince Andrew.
He's a good lad.
Well, that's nice. It's lovely to meet you as well. And I'm thrilled your success is such a kind of like a modern story, isn't it? It's someone who did their own music and then you put it out there, and it grew pretty naturally, didn't it? The following you had kind of grew just from people talking to each other, word of mouth.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing. Like, the internet has been a pretty integral part, but also as much as the kind of live thing is. So, like, as I was doing shows and kind of after shows, I'd like just be selling CDs out of my rucksack and stuff like that, and then like that night people would kind of share it online and give it to their friends, and it would just kind of build this little community. So by the time that it came to a lot of labels offering deals, I was already selling out shows around the country.
Wow.
and kind of already selling independently quite well. So it was good to kind of have that foundation.
It must feel kind of unreal, though, your life in the last couple of years, because you've gone from playing in small venues and taking your own CDs along and so afterwards to hanging out with the people you grew up listening to, I guess. I mean, like doing the Brits, doing the closing Olympic ceremony.
Well, actually, one of the when I did the Queen's Jubilee, which was quite fun, I was doing an interview with Chris Evans, and it was on this kind of like grass bit with loads of different performers around, and there was kind of like Elton John and Cliff Richard and all these people just milling about. It was a bit surreal, to be honest, and I was having an interview with Chris Evans, and Paul McCartney walks past. I'm like, oh shit, it's Paul McCartney, wicked. And Chris Evans was kind of like, oh, you should go up and say hi to him. And I was like, I didn't really want to be that sort of person that just walks up to someone, shakes their hand, takes a picture and buggers off. Like, I actually wanted to kind of sit down with him and properly talk. So, yeah, we carried on conversation, me and Chris Evans, and then suddenly I get a tap on my back and I turn around and it's Paul McCartney there, and I'm like, you all right? And
I hope he said, not now, Paul, I'm busy.
No, he told me that he loved my music and he'd first seen it on Hollyoaks, which I think was amazing, that Paul McCartney watches Hollyoaks.
But you have very ardent fans, I know that. I mean, I know we had a lot of excitement here. People excited about hearing Ed play this evening, aren't they? We had a lot when we announced you were on. We had a lot of people want to come and see the show. How kind of devoted are your fans? Do you have much interaction with them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends where and when I'm playing, but if it's a relatively small venue, after every gig I'll go out and say hi to as many people as I can. It started to get more and more difficult in England because obviously the gigs have got a lot bigger. But we just, you know, I've just come back from 6 weeks in America, kind of doing any venues from kind of 500 capacity to 5,000 capacity, and it kind of was manageable there. But yeah, it's good.
Do they send you stuff? Do they make you stuff? We had Taylor Swift on last week. I know she gets some weird stuff. I know you've worked with her. Yeah. We had Justin Bieber on. He gets sent a lot of weird stuff in the mail. Yeah. Do you get that kind of fan
mail? I mean, I get some really cool stuff from fans. Like a fan knitted me like a doll the other day that was like a perfect thing. It even had like tattoos and like the necklace and everything. But occasionally you get the weird thing. Like I get baked a lot of cakes, and at the beginning of my career, I ate the cakes. You do. If you're given cakes, you eat cakes.
I've never met a cake I don't like.
Yeah. Well, I cut into this cake to eat it, and as I pulled it out, it was just this big clump of hair that kind of went like that. And I was kind of like, you know, there's a mistake if there's one hair or two hairs, but it's a clump of hair. And I have a feeling that this girl kind of wanted me to eat the cake, so next time she saw me, she could kind of be like, I'm inside you. And it was a bit I can't tell whether he's enjoying that or not.
I don't know what that face is.
I'm the one who gave him the cake.
He's angry with you. You didn't eat him. He's still outside of you. Hey, here's an exciting thing I heard, is that... And is this true? That, have you heard of the chicken restaurant Nando's, ladies and gentlemen? I hear they wanted to name a sauce after you.
I've actually got a box of that sauce at home.
But what they call it? Is it called Ed Sheeran's special sauce?
It just says Ed's Peri Peri, and it's hot, which is weird because I only like the medium one. The hot's a bit too... It kind of...
The hot's too hot?
Well, you get a bit of ring sting, and it's not really ideal the next day, to be honest.
What a lovely endorsement for Nando's, that is. Do you know what's in it?
Ooh.
I imagine they must have some ginger in there, mustn't they? There must be...
Yeah, I think just like sprinkles of happiness and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. Rainbows of happiness and a little bit of a mad person's hair. Great to have you here. You're going to perform for us. What song are you going to do for us this evening?
I'm going to play a song called Give Me Love.
You're going to go and play for us. It's Ed Sheeran, ladies and gentlemen. You go up and get yourself ready. Great to meet you, dude. Thank you for coming on the show. Mr. Ed Sheeran.